You guys know me so well. Thanks, Heather. Every single time, I swear. Okay. So anyways, as much as I, do personal development, and I always aim to get up and listen to positive, things and say my, daily affirmations, there are things that the leaders on this team, we still fight. We still struggle with things. And that's something that I continue to struggle with, but every day I'm making, a list here of things that I can do to improve on, those things, because I am only going to better you guys if I can better myself. And I owe that to you guys. So that was a big thing that I took in. And my self-limiting beliefs were nothing compared to some of these stories that some of these coaches shared. The losses that they had in their life, from their fathers to their best friends. I mean, a lot of us were just a sobbing mess. We all had to bring our tissues because it was just the stories coming out of these top coaches of things that they have faced and the things that they've conquered. And Beachbody has brought life back into them. Okay, it's not like any one of them could have had, the excuse to say, screw it, I'm not going to do this business because so-and-so just passed away and that's like the center of my life and I can't even move on. Like, how can I do that? But Beachbody was the center thing that breathed life back into them. So that was really inspiring to hear. And I know that if I have these little self-limiting beliefs and they've had these things happen in their life, then I sure as heck can get over my little hills, and every single one of you on this call can do the same. So that was a main takeaway for me. You guys also, some of these limiting beliefs that, we all hear every day, right? Like, I don't have enough friends to become a coach, or I don't have enough social media content, or I'm not good at posting content. All of these things were revealed at Summit. There was a top coach's kid that came up on the stage and said she started this business with 0 friends. 0 friends on her Facebook, 0 friends on her Instagram. She didn't have any of those things, but she has built her business from the ground up because she wanted it, because she had a why. And that's what this all came down to for me, was that if you have the why and you have the desire to build this business and you have a passion for it and you want to help as many people as you can, you will conquer those limiting beliefs. So push past those hurdles and you guys will see so much success in this business. And that's just my main takeaway. Some other little things, actually, I'm not going to go on because I know one of my little things is one of someone else's things, so I'm not going to share that. But really quickly, just to recap, okay, Team Cup is the big thing right now, okay? That's the thing that's coming up the quickest. It starts in August. You guys have to get registered for the Team Cup. You just heard Carl share about it. I don't need to go into much more detail other than the fact that you guys will only gain, you won't lose anything if you join the Team Cup. Okay, there's no letting anybody down. I know that way in the past when I started this business, I hesitated. I was like, gosh, I'm a baby coach and what can I do to this team? I can't, what if I let them down? But again, it's a self-limiting belief. As long as you're showing up, you're doing the behaviors that you need to be doing, you'll gain something, okay? It's great accountability. I'd like for you all to find a team. Whether you're on Team FitNique, Team Rise Up, I want you guys all to post there. If you don't have a team, post underneath will help to put one together for you. Shift Shop. Okay, Shift Shop. I started today. Some of you started Monday right after Summit, but I wasn't ready. I was exhausted and I needed to grocery shop. And Brian started Monday. He's on day 3. That's good. That's awesome. And it's amazing. It's awesome. The meal plan's going good. I get hungry at night though. Right now I'm hungry and I'm wanting to go to bed right after this call because I don't want to raid the pantry. But I have stuck 100% to the plan, and that is my plan because I owe it to all of my challengers and all of you guys to follow the plan 100%. If we're not doing it ourselves, we can't really inspire the other people to join us. And I know it's not the program for everybody. I know that there's some people, here that maybe it's just not their thing. And I totally relate to that. Like, I am not a cardio person. I'm not someone that likes to do crazy hard cardio, but I encourage you just to at least try, and if you find out it's not for you, that's what you can tell your challengers, right? But every single one of you should at least try. So doing it yourself, make sure you're doing Shift Shop yourself. Make sure that you're in prep week of your challenge group. Some of you started your challenge groups on Monday. I decided to push mine back so that I could really prep them this week because I couldn't do so while we were at Summit. So make sure you're doing that. Daily Sunshine, who's tried it? Anybody? Awesome. So I tried it. I tried the chocolate. I haven't busted out the strawberry banana one yet. My son tried it. He just put water in it and shook it, and he wasn't a fan. But not everybody's gonna be a fan. And I tasted it, and it was kind of thin. But you can use almond milk to mix it up. Throw some ice in there. Add half a banana if you want. But it was a good snack. It definitely kept me full. I drank the whole thing, and it kind of tastes like what is it? The Recover, the chocolate, kind of tastes like that to me, I think. So, but it's good. Like it's much better than grabbing for something junk food in the cabinet. So, so that is available now. Canadians, it sucks so bad. You guys have to wait so long, but you'll be ready. You will be ready when it comes. Clean Week, awesome thing. I asked a lot of the coaches, and the thing that they were most excited about was this program. 7 days, you get a menu, you get 7 workouts, and they don't really have to go through that, sign up process where they see the charges and all that. So they cleaned it up. It's awesome. I think it's a great way to get people in the door, right? To experience 7 days of our programs, to experience the meal plan, and to experience your 1 week challenge group. So it's super important to get that out there. And that is September, and it's only $29.95. So I love that. That's awesome. And then Double Time, Tony has a new program. I was super excited. He is like one of my faves. So if you have kids that do workouts, right, this is a great program to do with your family, right? Like I see you guys working out with your kids all the time. I think this is going to be awesome for that. UK launch, we've talked a lot about the UK launch, so I'm not going to do too much with that. We have Android users on here. You guys all have the BOD app now, so that's exciting. Diane's dancing. Also, all the technical stuff, right? Like the new Coach Online Office is coming in the fall. They showed screenshots of all of these beautiful colors, and everything looks so clean and neat. It's going to be really, really awesome. And then also the teambeachbody.com has been redesigned, and that cart that can be really messy and sloppy, and sometimes can be like, the customers can go to the cart and be like, ooh, this looks really confusing, and sometimes they'll back out, right? Like this cart is amazing. It looks awesome. So that's coming in the fall too. If you are pushing for Elite or Premier, I'm not going to go into the details, but if you are, let us know because we will help you. There's a new little incentive to get to Elite or Premier this year. Diamond bonus. I love this. So we have so many coaches on this team who are like coaches away from Diamond, or even if you're not, you can reach Diamond by the end of the year and experience one of these bonuses. We've never, since I've been a coach, ever had a bonus attached to being a Diamond or a 1-star Diamond coach. So this is huge, you guys. This is such a great time to utilize that rank. If you really are reaching for Diamond, I encourage you to do it. You could have $500 extra in your pocket by the end of the year. So absolutely awesome. And then Summit 2018 is in Indy this year. Super excited. We like New Orleans, but some of us are kind of glad we're not going back. A lot of us were excited to get home. I think we all have a picture of New Orleans when we go into it if we've never been there, and kind of didn't fit that picture for me, but it was an experience. We all saw it. We all had fun. We still had fun. But yeah, I think Indy is going to be awesome. We're already trying to get everyone together in hotels. The Omni, you guys, is I think there's only one Omni this year. That's the one we booked. I know Michelle booked it. I know Crystal booked. I'm not sure who else booked, but we're all going to try to at least get in the Omni. And if not, we'll have a backup plan for another hotel. And we'll bring that to you guys. But it's June this year. I know it's a little tougher. School is just ending. It's June 21st through 24th. For some of you, my kids will be out. But you have the whole year to plan, right? Whole year to plan what to do with your kids if you have to. All right, so that is what I had as far as the things that happened. Obviously, you guys, there's so much that I could go on and on about, but I want to give it to the coaches. I want to hear from you guys what your takeaway was. I have a few people on my team that I picked to speak, but if you guys want to jump in and I didn't choose you to speak, feel free to unmute yourself. I'm going to go through and find my first girls here, and then Michelle could be happy to share Michelle's takeaways, and then she could unmute her girls. So I'm going to scroll down here. Actually, let me just ask you guys. Heather, can you unmute yourself?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yay. So Heather, this is number what summit for you?
This is number 3.
3.
My first one was 2013. The only reason I missed 2 in between is because I got myself knocked up for 1. And then my son was about to turn 1 for the second one. I couldn't miss his first birthday. That's the only reason I missed 2 in between. There was lots of stuff that I enjoyed at Summit. The biggest thing that I took away from it was Shalene's presentation. And what I took away from her presentation was a lot of coaches now, especially the top coaches and even the trainers, are moving away a little bit from the Beachbody brand. And branding themselves instead of it being all about Beachbody. So we all love the product. We all drink the shakes. We all do these things and they're wonderful. And we all know that it works and that's great. But there's, I don't know how many coaches on Facebook right now that are all doing the same thing. We're all doing the same workouts, all drinking the same shake. So the only thing that sets us apart is ourselves, our personalities, and our brands. So instead of posting about, hey, I did the 22-minute hardcore, I did Shift Shop, or I did this, I did that, you need to relate it back to you about your brand and how you felt doing it. And did you like it? Did you not like it? It's doing this for your legs. It's doing that for your arms. How doing that workout made you feel, how drinking the shake makes you feel, instead of saying, I'm drinking Shakeology. You know, you talk about why you're drinking it or what it's doing for you as a person and not as a Beachbody thing. Because I think that if we make it more about us and less about Beachbody, we also come across as more genuine, and we also pull ourselves away from that whole MLM stink that, you know, surrounds everybody a lot on social media.
Yep.
So her saying about, you know, post about, you know, make people curious is basically what Chalene Johnson said. Mm-hmm. And she's right about it, because even I've been on some people's walls sometimes where they're posting about stuff and they never say what it is they're doing. And I'm so freaking curious to know what the hell it is they're talking about. So she really stressed about how you want to create curiosity on your wall. You want people to reach out and ask you what you're doing, because that way you can take the conversation offline and it makes it more personal than you putting your business out there. Yeah. So that was my big takeaway.
I love that. And it's funny because I heard Shailene say that, and as soon as I did, I scrolled my newsfeed and I saw quite a few of you coaches make a post that like had a curiosity. Like Michelle was like, I'm listening to my favorite, you know, trainer or whatever. And then people are like, oh, who, you know, they're going to ask you, who is it? And then that is going to help you to strike up a conversation with them, right? So instead of saying Shift Shop, right, what are we saying? Like this awesome agility program, or, you know, you don't have to say the name of the program. They're going to be like, oh, what you doing? What's this program you're doing? So definitely just find other words. Oh, I'm so glad you shared that, Heather. That's awesome. And you did a really good live video sharing your summit takeaways. That was awesome on your wall. Was that on your wall? I think so, right? That's good. Good stuff in your tub, right? That's good. Well, thank you, Heather. Awesome. All right. And then I'm going to go to Michelle McGreevy, because she was first-time summit goer.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I have a box popping up saying that my microphone is defaulting, so.
I can hear you. You are loud and clear.
Okay. This was my first time going. I've been a coach for 2.5 years, and I had so many takeaways, but I'm going to pick the one that made me cry. And you know, anytime that you guys are listening to personal development or doing anything that's teaching you something, and if you're in tears, then you really need to stop and listen to your inner voice, because it's trying to tell you something. I'm going to try to get through this without crying. It was Josh Coates. Write his name down. He's a great speaker. He has a lot of great trainings, but in his training, he was talking about limiting beliefs. And he was talking about how, whether you know it or not, your limiting beliefs are being passed down to your kids. Your kids get the vibe. When you don't have confidence in something, they see it, they just sense it in you. And that struck a chord with me, because I grew up in a home where I have 7 siblings. I'm number 6. And my older brothers and sisters spoke for me. I had no voice. I grew up very shy. And I'm not going to have my kids raised in a home where they have no voice. And I raised my kids to be very confident, and they are confident kids. but I struggle with confidence. So when Josh Coates said that your limiting beliefs, whatever they are, they're being passed down to your kids and it needs to stop. And that was my aha moment, that moving forward, whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ditch the self-doubt, and I'm just going to surround myself with personal development. I do it anyway. You guys should be doing it anyway. But this just really hit home. So moving forward, it's for my kids. Mm-hmm. That was my takeaway from Summit.
That's so awesome. I wrote that one down in my notebook too, because you oftentimes don't think about that. You don't think about the effect that the things that you're feeling can be passed down. They can sense things like, your kids like know everything. It's just crazy. You don't think they do. They can sense when you're like, mommy and daddy might be fighting a little, or even though you're trying to hide it, or, they just get down because they're like, oh, mommy and daddy are happy, right? Like they know that. So yeah, you're so right. I love that. So thanks for sharing, Michelle. All right. And where is she? I'll make sure she's here. What else did I have? I know I had someone else speak out if it was you. Cheryl, where are you? Cheryl. I wrote you all down. There you are.
I was in the dark. I was in the dark before I was getting my kids to bed, but they're all sleeping now.
Okay, perfect timing.
Yes. So there were so many great speakers and amazing moments at Summit, but I really loved Darren Hardy's talk. He is the author of The Compound Effect, and that's a book that so many of us have read in our personal development. And so I love Brendan Burchard too. I found he was more like kind of like the fluffy feel good, and Darren Hardy was like just saying things and just getting to the point and just really just motivating me to do hard work. So there are a couple of things that he talked about, like a few little quotes that he mentioned that really have stuck in my mind. So I'm just gonna mention a few of them. One thing he says is often the things involved in our business, the tasks that we do every day, they're easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. And it's really important for us not to neglect the easy things. So, just like as an example, sending a private message to one of our challengers, checking in on them, posting in our free fitness support. It's almost as easy to not do it as it is to do it. But those easy things, when you do them over time, then that's where growth and success can happen in our business. He also, another thing that he said was, you can suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline weighs in ounces, and the pain of regret is really heavy. So I love that too, because, often, and I share this with my challengers, how we can either be disciplined now or be regretful later. So this is, it's involved with our health and fitness, it's involved with our business. But if we're just disciplined now, we don't have to feel the heavy pain of regret later, either with our business or with our health and fitness. And the last thing that I want to share that he said was, successful people don't like doing what it takes to be successful, but they do it anyways. So, and I also shared this with my challengers. So sometimes we might not feel like doing the workout, or we might not feel like sending out private messages and reaching out to people. And it doesn't really matter whether we feel like it or not. If we want to be successful, we do it even when we don't feel like it. And the people who are unsuccessful, they also don't feel like doing these things, and they don't do them. But we're going to be successful because we do those things that it takes to be successful, even when we don't feel like doing it. So those were 3 things that I took away from his talk, and I've had them in my mind since Summit has passed, and I shared it with my challengers, and they loved it too, because I think sometimes we gloss over the hard work that's involved in this business, either with our coaches, or we gloss over the hard work that's involved with our challengers. But when we kind of face the fact that it can be hard, and we need to be disciplined, and we have to do things we don't want to do, then the compound effect of doing those things over time brings success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved his talk too, and that it was really based around the compound effect book. Like it was kind of like step by step, his book really laid out in slides. So if you guys have not read the compound effect, make sure you do. I know all of my challengers read it. I know all of my new coaches read it. But definitely if you were on this call and you have not read that, such an amazing book to read. So thank you, Cheryl. And someone mentioned the burning building speech, and I'm not going to go into the details because it probably will make all of you cry, but it really is that analogy of, you know, you won't do something until you know it's absolutely necessary, right? But like in this business, we need to do those things that are absolutely necessary if we want to get to the next step and you really want to grow this business. So, you know, if you have, you know, if there's a house on fire and you just think it's a house on fire, you're not going to go near it. But if you know it's on your street and it's in your little cul-de-sac and you see the smoke rising and you know the babysitter's at home with your kids and you see that house burning, you're going to kick that door down. So like that's what we need to do in our businesses, in our lives. We need to get over those fears and those, you know, self-limiting beliefs so that we can rise higher. All right, so I'll bring it to Michelle now and see what she has to say about Summit, and then let her girls speak.
Thanks, guys. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Summit, for me, this was my third Summit, and as all of you know, I've had a pretty hard year. So this was definitely a harder Summit for me. I'm in a different mindset right now. So for me, hearing stories from other coaches that sort of get me right now, get where I'm at, that was a big takeaway for me. I felt comforted that, you know, I'm in a different season right now. So some days are really, really good and some days aren't, and that's okay. So that was a takeaway, a personal takeaway for me. Another takeaway for me was I was lucky enough to be elite this year. So I was sitting down on the floor, Amy was there, and all these top coaches. And I think we put so much emphasis, you know, we all follow the top 10, right? Like we're just so infatuated with these top coaches that we sometimes look at them and think, how can I ever do that? Like, there's no way I'm ever going to be like Melanie Mitchell. Like, why do I even start? And what I take away every time that I'm at a summit or at an event like that is there's so many people on the floor. There's so much room. Anyone on this call can be on that floor. There's so much room between where I was sitting and Melanie Mitchell. You know, like it doesn't, to be really successful and change your life doesn't mean you have to be Melanie Mitchell or Bonnie Engel. You can do it in your own way and really completely change your world. So don't put so much emphasis on those top 10 all the time. Like I was sitting beside people, I have no clue who they are. I don't see them on social media and they don't see me. Like we didn't know each other. We didn't like high five. Oh yeah, I follow you. Like I had no clue who they were, yet they were in the same position as me at some level of success and higher. So again, it kind of hit me like, I don't have to always think I have to be Melanie Mitchell. I can be Michelle File and I can still be super successful. And I took that back to my team because I think we all put these coaches on this big pedestal and we don't ever feel like we can be as good as that or we can get to that level. But there's lots of people in that same level and anyone on this call can get there. So that was a big takeaway for me this year because I was lucky enough to be with them and I realized like, holy shit, there's a lot of people I don't know who these people are. I've never heard their names before. And they're still seeing that level of success. So it goes back to belief, right? Like believe that you can do what you want to do in your own way. So that was one of my takeaways for sure. And for me to have my girls all together, like honestly, it's just amazing to have your tribe with you for 3 days and you get to like do power hours together and workouts together and take pictures and have a party. And I mean, there's just nothing like it. For me, that's my takeaway from Summit. I mean, a lot of the information I've heard before, right? Like I'm implementing that. I've been there enough that I hear that stuff all the time on YouTube and that stuff. So for me, it's the togetherness of my girls, you know, everyone getting together and just hanging out and really connecting. And then it just grows a stronger team when we get home. So that was my takeaways. I didn't plan, I never inform my girls of when they're going to have to talk. So I'm just going to call on a few of them. Megan, why don't you share a couple of your takeaways?
Oh, good. Everyone can see me in my jammies. Awesome. Well, I will just share the same thing that I keep sharing because it's honestly just, it's what was my biggest takeaway, and it sort of goes hand in hand with what Michelle said. And if you're one of my coaches, this is probably like the 10th time you've heard me say it, but I always sort of fear that I can't be successful because I don't look like the successful coaches. I don't have, the perfect done hair and the makeup and the clothes. And, I'm like 95% of the time I look like this. And I go out in public looking like this too. And my social media, I look like this. And even when we were walking the streets of New Orleans, I said to Michelle and Amy kind of jokingly, like, do you think there's any chance that I can be successful, the way I am? And, I was kind of joking, but not really, because it is sort of a fear. Like, do we have to be perfectly polished in order to be successful? And not that I ever want to be in the top 10, like it's not a goal of mine, but I do want to have that financial success. I never sort of like hid that. For me, it's financial. I want the financial success. I want to be in the Million Club. I want to walk the stage in the Million Club and, and beyond that. So, but I always sort of feel like, yeah, but maybe I won't get there because I'm just so average. And, that might sound silly, but I don't know. I hope I'm not alone in feeling like that. And it just really hit home that you don't actually have to be, like Melanie Mitchell, and you don't have to have that perfect polished look. 80% of the coaches that were walking around Summit and were up on stage.
The 22nd is on Saturday.
Like us, like they're, they weren't like the bombshell,
That's the day I go to camp.
blonde hair.
I think
they just were.
For my coaching.
Sorry, Megan, can you hold on a second?
Saturday.
I have someone unmuted and I have to find them through this.
That's me. You can look on the calendar.
Mute your phones, please, or your phones or your computers, please. Like 60 names to go through here.
You can look on the calendar. Today's the 19th.
Yeah, okay. So then I think it's the Sunday you go, though.
And that's the 23rd.
Bear with me, Megan. I'm so sorry. I'm going to find it.
It's Jessica Bellamy, I think.
Okay, I'm going down. I'm scrolling.
You gotta get my message
What message?
about not being here till 9.
Yeah. What do you mean? Why?
Because we were at visited 7 today.
I can't see anyone unmuted.
Are you tired? Yeah. Mateo was supposed to come over, but
I don't want to call her either.
Jessica.
Is it Jessica Bellamy? Yeah.
Oh, found it. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Good.
Could you hear anything I said?
Yeah, I stopped you right away as soon as it started getting feedback. So maybe go back like a teeny bit.
What was I saying? I get into these little rants and then I forget. Yeah, just that like the majority of coaches at Summit and the majority besides the top 10, they all just look like regular people, regular moms, regular women and men that, aren't all dolled up and didn't spend the afternoon at the salon getting a blowout and their eyelashes done and their makeup on. Like they were just regular people who, are doing the exact same things as us. And it just really hit home like, yeah, there is actually no reason why we all can't be as successful as them and have that financial success too. It's not a requirement that you have to be perfectly polished like I sort of had in my head. So that just really helped me to have the belief in this business. I always have had the belief, and I always have had the belief in myself, I think, too. It's just sometimes I would start to think that, oh, I don't know if it's ever going to happen because I don't look like they do. So I hope that helps some other people, too, if you think that way.
That's good. That was like a huge takeaway for Megan. She talked about it all weekend, which I think it goes with what I was saying too. Like you don't have to have like the blonde curly hair kissing your husband every day like Bonnie Engel. Like, my God, we don't all have perfect lives. Trust me. You know, and you can still see success. You don't have to be like that. So that was great.
I think a lot of people put it in their head and they think that, you know, even some people, you know, don't go to Summit because they think I'm not fit enough to be at Summit. But like, if you just go there and see the range of people that are at Summit, you'll think you're hilarious. Like, it's just not, you know, there's every shape and size, and, you know, it's just people. We love people, and people there are all on the same mission as us. Everyone's reaching their goals. Not everybody's at their goal weight. And I don't know if Megan mentioned this, but when you do look at the millionaires walking across the stage, right? Like those who have achieved the millionaire status, they're just like you and us. Like, they're not the perfectly polished, like the top 10, you know? So I think that the first year, Megan, it's so funny. I thought the same thing when I saw those coaches walk the stage and get their millionaire status. And, I was like, holy cow, you know, there's like 60-year-old up there. And there's like, you know, a mom who's still a little overweight. And, you know, it's just, it really puts that belief back into you. So, you know, yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Carla, would you mind sharing your takeaways? Or did you leave?
Yeah. I don't know where to start because it was, can you hear me? You can hear me now? Okay. I had a lot of aha moments this summit. This is my third summit. And I think I went to Summit really feeling so frustrated that I kind of hit the wall, and I think I just forgot what to do almost. I know that sounds silly, but I think I just kind of forgot that I needed to like keep it simple. And so that was one thing, just listening to some of the coaches and the simplicity of what they do and not making it complicated. And I've been told so many times, just talk to people. And I had such a struggle with that. And like the last 3 days, I've probably had more conversations than I've had all year. And so that was one. But the biggest thing for me was I've always had a really hard time struggling with my why and feeling like I had this pull towards coaching because I had this love of fitness, but not really having this need for it. I didn't have a time freedom because I've always been self-employed. So I've never had this as something I needed to do to be with my kids and make them breakfast and see them off to school. And I've never had this as something I needed to do for financial freedom because my husband and I have our own business and we've worked really hard to make it established and successful. And so I've never felt comfortable ever inviting people to coaching because I thought they had to have that love for fitness and I couldn't see why they would want to do it because I just did it because I loved it. So I thought, well, if someone isn't drawn to this because they love it, then why would they want to do it? But listening to all the stories of all the coaches and how much they truly need this and how it's completely changed their life and all the things that I've been so fortunate to have, other people don't have that. And this summit really opened up my eyes to see how much people need this. And so now I'm on a mission to share it with people. So that was my takeaway.
That's awesome, Carla. I know that you have struggled a long, long time. We talked about it so much. And it's cool that kind of came out this summit because it's true. I mean, the stories you hear at Summit will rock your boat. Like you think you have it bad and then you just hear something and it just totally inspires you to help others. And that's really what we're doing every day, right? Whether it's health and fitness or financial. And we hold this like golden ticket in our hands that we can pass on to people. And when you're too scared to share it with people, it's crazy because it can really change a person in so many ways. So thanks for sharing, Carla. Okay, one more lucky FitNique lady. Let's see who I can call on here. Sonia, how about you? Are you there? I can't see your face, but I can see your name. Oh, she just left. Did she just leave? There she is.
Sorry. Summit was exciting. Summit was kind of life-changing. I will probably get really emotional. Hold on. Sorry, my husband was leaving. It was, I had been struggling for a while too, as to finding my why, like why I wanted to do this, why I wanted to join this team, why I wanted to continue, and listening to all the personal development and the stories, it just really touched me as to why I really need this in my life. And working on myself first was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to really think about at 40-something years old. You know, it's like you struggle your whole life trying to figure out who you are. And I just never had that reassurance from anybody ever. So I don't even know how to put it into words, honestly. It was just, this is what I need, and I have a light now, and I feel like a fire, and I just want to share this, and I just want to have a transformation, and I just want to be the best that I can be for my family, because I do have a good life.
Thank you. So as you can see, Team FitNique was a crying mess pretty much for 3 days. But we came home stronger and closer, and yeah, we are, you know, kind of like a family unit, and we just hope it just keeps growing, like all of us. I mean, it really is amazing. And for me, you know, I went to my summit, the first summit by myself without knowing anybody, and Carla and Darlene, there was 3 of us. And then now there's whatever, I don't know, there's like 27 of us there this time. And I mean, it's just amazing how this can grow and how you can really help people. And then you get to a place where there's more of us. And it's just like, I always say this word to my team is contagious. And it really is. This whole thing just becomes so contagious that people want to join, really, because there's so many different avenues for it. But a lot of times it's for the sisterhood, you know, like it's for the tribe. It's for these girls know more about me and help me through more things than anyone in my life ever has. So that's us. That's from us. I don't know. If anyone else wants to share, my girls would probably talk all night. So I don't know. They can unmute themselves.
I would like to share, actually, if that's okay.
Yes, please do.
I think for me, I had my own limiting belief because I am in a very successful career that I've spent, 15 years building up. And when Beachbody came into my life, it was for the fitness aspect, the accountability. That's really why I signed up. Well, I signed up for the discount on Shakeology at first. And then I realized I needed the accountability to keep going. And so I always kind of in the back of my head thought, well, if one day I can replace my corporate income, that would be amazing. But I never really thought it was possible. Like, if I'm being totally honest, I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 25 years before I'll ever replace my income. And then just listening to like the limiting beliefs that like, why should my goal be to replace my income? Why shouldn't it be to like totally smash my income that I'm earning? Like I still have a mortgage. I still have all these things, earning that income from my corporate job. So why was that my goal? So that was really kind of an interesting thing for me. And I have to realize that, it's okay that like the last 15 years of me building my career in the corporate world, that experience isn't all of a sudden going to just go away because now I'm, talking about Shakeology and fitness programs. Like I can still use all of those experiences that I had in my career, because I kind of felt like a little piece of me it's almost like I was mourning a little piece of me as I transitioned into being hopefully one day a Beachbody coach full time. And so I had to just kind of check that at the door. And this conference really, really helped me do that. Another thing was just the camaraderie with our team and just sitting around. It's those moments outside of the sessions that were really important. On the last day before a couple of our team members were flying out, Justine actually said to me, she said, well, what's your goal for the end of the year? And I said, well, it's 2-star. And she's like, that's not big enough. And I was like, whoa, Justine, okay. What should it be then? And, it's just, I think we all so whatever your goal is, 10x it. If your goal is diamond by the end of the year, bullshit. You can do way better than that. Go for 2-star, go to 5-star, go for 10-star, because you know what, if you end up shooting for 10-star and you end up at 2-star, amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. So I think, it was just that camaraderie with the team and really pushing each other. I think I've always seen the potential in this business, but I never really saw myself in the potential of this business. And now I really do. I can see it, I can taste it, I can feel it, and I'm ready to go. So whoever wants to run with me, this ship is sailing. So come on board. And I see Christina's here. She's one of my personally sponsored coaches. She sent me a message that she was fired up seeing all the things that we were posting at Summit, and hopefully those that were at Summer were sharing their journey and what they were up to, because people are watching and, they want to join you. So anyways, that's my little rant.
Thanks, Heidi. That's awesome.
I think a common theme here is that all these coaches have gained vision. To me, that's the one word that pops out, is that maybe they weren't sure of themselves when they went in. When they went out of Summit, they had a clear path and they knew where they were headed and they were ready to set goals. And that's kind of something that always happens when I come out of Summit. I hear all these stories of how coaches are lit up and they all of a sudden know what they want and have a vision. They can see into their future and know, what they want, what they need to do to get there. So, I love it. Anybody else? Anything?
Can I jump in?
Oh, hi, Jess.
Hi, how you doing? Okay, so the biggest thing for me was, obviously, as you know, I went with my husband, and I always wanted him just his full support in the business. So I was like, if I take him there, then he's gonna see me on my phone and he's gonna know why I'm doing it. It's not gonna be oh, you're on the phone and stuff like that. But I got so much more than that. The vision that and the stories that everybody created was sorry, my kids are running around. They're my kids. The vision and the story that all the coaches created, he was able to see, for example, Jamie Fitzpatrick. He was he looked at me, he was like, oh shit, then I can do this too. It's not just I'm here to be your backbone. I could actually build my business as well. So for me, that really got me fired up. And I've been messaging Michelle crazy, with all the goals and the tracking, how many people I'm talking to, how many people he's talking, he's page, his pictures, and because he's okay, I'm gonna do it too. And then he was I want to have a transformation before I do it. And then Carl Deichler came on and with the empty chair and started saying that he needed us there. Doesn't matter at what point in our fitness we are, that he needed us there to help him help more people. And my husband had a few car accidents last year, so his back is injured. He would love to be doing Ship Shop, and unfortunately he can't. So he was let me do, finish the Tai Chang and do it. But he's so motivated that he was first I need to be able to do it before I talk to people. And now it's no, I'm going to be sharing what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I'm doing it regardless of an injury. And then I'll be able to inspire more people. So for me, my biggest takeaway was, besides me being inspired and my vision and everything like that, is the vision that he gave my husband as well. Not just as my backbone, but as a person that wants to build a business. If I took a coach and right now he's fired up and he wants to do it as well. So that for me was huge blessing.
That's awesome, Jessie. Yeah. That is one thing that happens on every team, right? There's lots of people that maybe don't have the support of their husbands, and that is a challenge for sure. I mean, we all want that support, and you know, it's sometimes hard to get. So I'm glad that you were able to bring your husband and he enjoyed it. And, you know, so maybe even just showing husbands that aren't supportive some videos from Summit and stuff like that, trying to get them on board. I know that's something we talk about on our team a lot, because it is a definite challenge that people face sometimes that can hold them back. So that's a whole other team call.
Whole other hour. All right, anybody else? We'll maybe take one more if anybody wants to. Come on, it's gotta be one more. Who's gonna be?
I will, because I have no problem talking.
I almost was gonna call you out. I'm like, I know it's Shelby's first Summit.
Who talks about anything? Yeah, I actually wasn't going to go to Summit, and then decided last minute that it was somewhere I needed to be and something that I had to do. And I just went for it, and just, like Michelle said, I literally was a flippin' emotional wreck for like 5 days straight. Like, I don't think a day went by that I didn't just bawl my face off. And I think it was just, again, that vision. Like, I like didn't get in this like as a challenger. I didn't start a free group. I went into this for the business, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was capable of doing. And like, haven't even done this for a year, and like so much has changed for me. And I've seen on YouTube videos, like different summits and different, you know, talkers and all that sort of thing. It doesn't give you that same like feeling. So being there and being in a room with like 20,000 other people who are doing the exact same thing, and seeing so many people who are still at the level that I'm at, and just getting like that feeling, like it was literally like I could feel the fire in my gut just like start like just building. Like, it was almost like I just wanted to go home right then and there. And it was just absolutely incredible. And just like seeing everything, and just, I think I just kind of needed that reassurance that everybody who's up there started where I am. And it's kind of hard to like, you know, see how successful Amy is and how successful Michelle is, and that, you know, they've already got all these followings. And then it's hard for us people who are still starting from the bottom to like sit back and realize like everybody started at the same spot, and like not everybody hits Success Club flipping 20 like within a first year. Some do, I haven't. But so I think it was just that reassurance that I needed, that I'm doing what I need to do, and everybody's starting where us emeralds are starting, and everything is going to eventually compound. So I think it was just that vision, and I've always seen the vision, and I tell everybody, like, you know what, like there's an officer I work with who's retiring in 3 years, and I'm bet and determined that I'm going to retire when he retires. So we're going to have like a retirement party together. So it's not like I've never had the vision. It was just more so like I have to actually do it. And it's that like limiting belief that like I've got all this stuff I want to do, but then I don't do it. So it's just kind of like I got to like pull my head out of my ass and just know that like I'm capable of doing it. So the last couple of days I've been kind of like of, you know, doing everything that I need to do. But yeah, so that's my takeaway.
I'd just like to make one point, and thank you for sharing, Shelby. I think that everybody that wasn't at Summit can tell that Summit is about belief and believing in yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're going to Summit expecting scripts and expecting a rundown of how to run a challenge group, that is not what Summit's about. You guys know how to do that. You know what they tell you? Keep it simple. Make friends every day. Do some posts, share your journey, have a transformation, all that stuff that you know how to do. Summit is 3 days full of busting out belief in yourself and figuring out where you are, where you want to be, and just starting to have some confidence around this business. That's what it's about. Mm-hmm. So I sometimes think people go into it thinking it's going to be like really like different tactics and different scripts and how to invite, and it's not that at all. It's 3 days full of different ways of telling you to believe in yourself. That's really what it is. And that's why when we leave Summit, we still have to continue reading personal development. And if you weren't there, you need to watch all the videos that are going to be posted in YouTube and start feeling that you're part of this, and feeling the confidence that they instill in us in those 3 days, because that is what is going to make you successful. There's no script in the world that's going to make you successful. It's your belief in the business and in yourself.
Mm-hmm. True that, for sure. Michelle and I started like at the bottom, right where you guys are. Some of you are right in the beginning, right? Like very few friends. Nobody really wants to do this with me. I have to kind of reach out to them. I have to share my journey, which was scary. Like we were scared, but we did it. We knew we had a purpose and we wanted this business to work. And that's the thing, when you go to Summit, and I don't care how, you know, far along in the business you are, you come away with a better belief in yourself. You know, like I've been in this at 6 years, like I'm the veteran on this team, and I come away every single time with something new that helps me to become a better person, a better leader, a better coach, a better friend to my coaches. It's just crazy. Like every year I keep thinking, gosh, what else can I, what else can I learn, or what else can I experience? Every year is better than the last. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so let's hit like almost 10 o'clock. And if anybody else does really want, I don't know, does anybody else want to share anything, or do you guys want to call this a night? I love hearing from all of you guys. Anybody else? Okay, good. All right, well, it was a great call. Oh my gosh, you guys. So really, the point being, you guys should be there with us next year. You know, and encourage your teams to get there, encourage your coaches to get there, new coaches or not. Like Shelby is brand new. You know, she went and she took away a lot from it. She had an amazing experience. A lot of the new coaches that come, like it develops that belief in themselves. So wherever you are in the business, whether you're struggling or you feel like you're doing awesome or you're a brand new coach, like get to Summit, you know, and let's take advantage of all the things that are coming out, you know, this month and in the fall. But really at the heart of everything is just be yourself. Like that's what I learned from these summits, is that you have to be yourself. Like don't be afraid to share who you are, share your story. You might be sitting there thinking, you know, gosh, I went through all these struggles and nobody wants to hear about that, you know, but nobody wants to know you're perfect either. People aren't going to follow you if you're perfect, right? So let's get out there, let's share ourselves, let's be real, and let's do our best to register. And you guys, that cheap discount price is like, what did they say? It's up on Sunday. So you guys register before Sunday, you get a cheaper price than, you know, you'll get if you wait. So, but yeah, great call. Thank you guys, everyone who shared their takeaways, their highlights. We really appreciate it. I know for me, you know, Michelle, we had an amazing summit, and we just love being there with our teams too. So the more people, the better. We'd love to see you there. But have a great night, you guys. Thank you guys.
Good night, guys.